Hey Writerly besties, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, hello, my name's Anna and I like to make writing content. In today's video, I am excited to talk about, I have like a little note here, just like some really good habits that I have found that really improves you as a writer, and these tips are kind of like things that happen immediately. So if you want to improve your writing, do these things, these 5 tips, and I assure you, you will definitely improve as a writer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it really just helped me so much, and I wish I had these tips when I started writing. But let's go ahead and get on to the video. Okay, so the first habit that I have for you guys is to actually write on paper. And I feel like writers, we usually use our laptop, our computers, even our iPads, but always on our digital devices. But honestly, for me, I adore writing in my little notebook. So I've probably shown this in a lot of my videos, but I use this notebook for brainstorming, for writing out scenes, for fixing plot holes. I just like literally write my stuff down on physical paper because I feel like we don't do it enough as writers. I think this really helps people actually think about what they're gonna write, because sometimes when you're idly writing on your your keyboard, sometimes things just flick through your mind and it's a lot harder to actually consciously think about every single word you're writing about. So in particular, brainstorming, or if you have a problem in your book, get a journal that you can put everything in your sort of notebook which has to do with your writing, and just write it in this book. I do want to actually give a shout out to Bastion for sending me a really cute little pen. This company has a lot of really cool pens, so if you guys also need a pen, definitely check them out. They're able to send me this beautiful silver one, and it's the slim model, and this is actually such a nice beautiful pen, and it just glides. It's really hard to explain if you don't have the pen with you, but the way it glides on the page, it's very effortless and it just helps me with my writing. And I always thought a pen's just a pen, but if you get one pen that you know that you won't lose, that you can always just grab, I definitely recommend you check out Bastion. I'll have them linked up in the iCard and also down in the description if you guys want to check them out. But yeah, thank you so much Bastion for sending me a pen. Definitely check them out if you need a new pen. And yeah, I guess that's the tip, to actually write down all your stuff, and I get to do it with my snazzy little new pen. This is actually so pretty too. Like, I honestly always lose my pens, so having a pen that I just know I will just like always love and always have is a great thing. So yes, that is the first habit. The second habit doesn't really have to do with writing, but it does. You'll see what I mean, because the habit is to read like a writer. Don't just read as a reader, don't read idly. And even though this seems like, Anna, you just taking the whole, you know, idea of reading away from me, like, no, just kind of keep in mind, have a pen in your hand as you read a book. And I think particularly with classics, I am just in the sort of writer's mind, because you have to kind of give that second sort of reread of every single sentence, because it's harder to kind of capture what they're saying because they speak in like old English. But anyways, that kind of just encourages me to underline things. I am still getting into my sort of routine, I guess, or just the way I sort of write and underline things, and how I can read more as a writer. And I do want to do a video on this to also help myself, because I really want to explore more in how to like actually use other writers' works and actually use them as inspiration and as like resource material for your own projects. So yes, try to read like a writer and just at least start underlining things that you find interesting in books, so you can kind of go back and kind of understand why that particular thing stood out to you. And then you can of course reflect on why the author did that to make you feel that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess it progresses. So I'm still like into this, you know, and I'm still figuring out how I do it. So yes, I'm starting to actually read like a writer, which has helped me, you know, actually understand more so about the audience and the reader for my books. Like, this has actually helped me so much. So being just self-aware maybe of that, just in general, to actually understand not just what book you're writing, but who you're writing for. Hope that makes sense. The next habit is something that a lot of beginners get into. This seriously frustrated me so much as a writer, and doing this tip actually probably is the single thing that allowed me to finish my first book, and that is simply to write without editing every single sentence that you write. And this is such a big tip I can give, and basically like the number one tip if you are a beginner is don't edit as you write. For your draft, for your first draft, don't worry about your writing. That will come after, because you're gonna inevitably have to edit your work. So why the heck are you editing as you're just kind of exploring your book? Okay, this is just a simple tip, simple habit. Stop editing as you're writing, especially for zero drafts, and basically only for zero drafts, but you guys get what I mean. Don't edit as you write. The next habit, I think, honestly is more of a self-confidence thing and something that will help you get in the mood to write more and take yourself seriously as a writer. And that habit is basically just calling yourself a writer. So when people ask you what you do in your spare time, don't say that you write. Say that you're a writer and I'm writing books. Don't just say I'm working on a few like fictional pieces. They're nothing. No, tell yourself, tell them, hi, I'm a writer. I write books. I write books. Books. Not just pieces, not just, I don't know, fictional diaries. You know, these are actual books. These are actual novels that you're writing. You're a writer, okay? You watching right now, you're a writer, and you need to believe it because I believe it. So understand this. You're a writer, so start calling yourself a writer, and that will therefore allow you to start acting like a writer. Yes, I'm looking at that unfinished manuscript on your desktop computer. Yes, I'm looking at that right now. Don't worry, I'm guilty. But anyways, that's the psychology around it, basically. Why am I still holding this? I don't need that. Anyways, yes, that's the fourth tip. Okay, the fifth habit slash tip, I guess you can say, is honestly, it's kind of problematic. I have made my, look, it's interesting because sometimes I like to count my word count. For NaNoWriMo, for example, that's like the only time of the year I really count my word count. I find it kind of toxic and not good for you to actually, you know, count your word count. I more so encourage you guys, and this is the habit, to focus on the time, the amount of time you write, not the, like, don't even look at the word count. Focus on the time. It's kind of similar to working out. I used to do gym a lot, like a lot, and I know like my sister more does like Pilates and stuff like that, and she's like, it's so much better when you're doing exercises to count seconds, not the amount of reps you do. When I was like, no, you need to count the amount of reps you're doing so you know exactly what you're doing, blah 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 blah. But in reality, if you count your word count, you're gonna put that stress upon yourself that if you're not feeling good that day, you're gonna feel terrible if you don't meet it. However, if you are maybe in a really bad scene, or you're just feeling really tired or depressed, like, you never know, and you only have like a time limit, so like, okay, I'll try to write for 20 minutes. That seems so much more manageable than, okay, I have to write 2,000 words. Does that make sense? It's kind of situational and depends on your circumstance, and I feel like time and timing yourself allows more so for those, you know, obscurities, those outliers within your days. And when you are feeling terrible, when you are feeling unmotivated, you know, I feel like time helps a lot better. So time yourself. Don't focus on the amount of words you wrote during that time session. So hope that helps. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and these maybe tips helped you, these habits are something that I guess helped me so much, so I really hope they helped you, and comment down below if they did and if you found them interesting, or maybe if you have like any other topics or any tips or habits that you want to share down below. I'll definitely love to read them and share with the community. However, I love you guys so much. I have a lot of writing content stacked up for you guys, and I'm so excited for this month and this whole year. And also, if you want more content like this and more tips sort of videos, more talky videos, I have a podcast, if you guys didn't know. It's called Writing with Anna New, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts and Anchor, a lot of different podcast platforms. I'll have it linked down below and always at the end of the video. But yeah, definitely listen to some of my recent podcast episodes because they're really interesting, and I hope you are enjoying them. Anyways, yes, I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you in my next writing video. Bye bye.